If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is April the 30th, 2022, and today the topic is, do you trust me? Well, I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Thank you to those of you all that tuned in to last night's episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show. While I was having a chat with Mr. New Frank. I hope that you all are enlightened by his conversation regarding relationships and everything like that. I appreciate you all taking out the time. But in the event that you didn't, right, then you guys can catch the replay on godsexandlove.com. It is our feature video. So, yeah, you should see it there. Easy access. Go to godsexandlove.com and it's right there on the main page. Yeah, man, it's God be the glory for all things. Yesterday, what was I doing? Hustling from home, being a mom, trying to rest. I didn't work out yesterday, so yeah, that was one thing. I think by the time I ate something yesterday evening, I don't know. Yeah. But maybe I'll try to knock out my workout today. If not, then I'll try to pick things back up next week. But yeah, that's what happened yesterday. Been preparing for the show next weekend. Yes, a week from today, I'll be at the Decatur Arts Festival, and I will be performing my show, The Mother's Day Dilemma. Madam Miraculous is going to be there, as you all can see on the screen, those of you all that are watching me live. So I've been preparing for that. My son and I tested out a couple of the experiments from yesterday. A couple of the experiments that I'm going to do on that day. We tested a couple of the. I can't talk this morning. Tested a couple of them out yesterday, and so that was interesting to get his little response, to those experiments and whatnot. And yeah, man, again, it's God be the glory for opportunities to be creative. I'm going to use the Mom Bomb products in the majority of the experiments that I'm going to be doing. So that's pretty cool as well. So shout out to Mom Bomb. Yes, y'all can go to mombomb.org. And hey, if you use the coupon code Miracle Sims, you get 10% off. But yeah, so that's pretty cool as well. Yeah. So your will be done. Well, this morning I did my prayer meditation. I was actually up early. So by the time my alarm went off, I was already awake for whatever reason. I didn't pay attention to what time I woke up. So, oops, I guess we missed out on that. In regards to seeing if the Lord was trying to tell me something while I was waking up that early. But anywho, yeah, so I was doing a prayer meditation. Again, it is kind of, the deep dive into the Lord's Prayer. I don't know. Maybe my mind was preoccupied. I don't know. But I was kind of thinking about a conversation I had yesterday, as well as just this idea of the desires of our heart. And so I did start looking up verses centered around that. But I think as I started to look up that, the question came in my mind: do you trust me? Yeah, that was the question that came in my mind as I started to look up verses centered around the desires of your heart. So Because, at the end of the day, we got to trust that God is going to give us the desires of our heart. And on one hand, I know that I'm in a place now in my life where I'm constantly saying, especially here on the juice, I'm always like, trust God, trust God. Yeah, he got it, y'all. X, Y, and Z. And then I share my testimonies and whatnot. But at the end of the day, too, I understand that, again, everybody has their process that they have to go through. And, maybe at some point they don't trust God, not fully, right? Um, not to fully trust him to be able to do what we were talking about yesterday, saying, Lord, your will be done in my life, in every aspect of my life. Um, I'm going to take my own thoughts, my own ideas, my own desires. I'm going to take those things captive to what your word says about me and what you want me to be and whatnot. So again, I understand that that's a process that some of us have to go through. And I mean, I went through it. I went through it too, I think for me, again, as I share my testimony, I try to, uh, I think, again, I try to share details to show you all the practical ways that I, you know, incorporated trusting God and allowing his will to be done and all these things in my life to, to show you all how I did it, for example. But I know that everybody, again, uh, it may not, maybe the way I did it won't work for you or something like that. Maybe, you need to do something a little bit more or a little less, depending on where you are in your journey. So, I think we need to exercise patience when it comes to other people in their life, in their journey, in their path, and all those things. Like, I know it can kind of be frustrating sometimes to be on the other end and you're like, hey, come on, come on, come on. You know, Lord knows it's like I try to be cheerleaders for people, you know what I'm saying? I try to be encouragement for people. But just like with me in my life, sometimes you just, people just need a listening ear. And, you can cheer them on, you can, share your testimony, you can do all of that. But at the end of the day, understand that it's their life, right? It's their choice, it's their process, and everything like that. And they have grace and mercy because has given them grace and mercy. So, now, I mean, to be honest, I think uh, at the same time, too, we shouldn't be wasting time, just because God give us grace and mercy. Like, I don't feel like we should just be using that to kind of be like, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. And then next thing you know, you're on your deathbed and you never did the will of God. Um, you know, now that's something else. But then again, I mean, hey, that's between you and God, though. That's between you and God. At the end of the day, um, so I mean, I do understand that aspect. When you have friends and family that you're trying to encourage, and you're trying to, share your testimony, you try to, give them that little nudge in the hopes that they would, um, you know, build their faith, right, and everything like that. I guess that iron sharpening iron and whatnot. But again, it's balanced though. I feel like there's a balance with that, and I feel like we as humans, we just have to, um, again, allow people to go through their process and make their choice and everything like that. So with that being said, that was pretty much the inspiration for today. And so when I looked up verses centered around, do you trust me? Um, this is what I came across. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your way, acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Again, I could think about my own life and everything like that. And I guess, again, to share my testimony is smidge, you know, I feel like God put things on my heart and mind that I wanted, to do, things that I desired, right? He put my heart's desires on my heart. He put the desires of my heart on my heart, right? Because he created all things, right? So I know that's next level thinking. You got to think about the fact that God made everything, so He even made your thoughts. But anywho, um, so with that being said, if you have desires, right, and you have goals and dreams and things you aspire to have and achieve and everything like that, then acknowledge that God gave you those desires. And then, I mean, I guess the next thing is, for me, what I did was to think about, like, okay, I have these desires. What can I do to get to these desires, right? What can I do to achieve these goals? Now we try to find loopholes, we try to find ways and whatnot, and hey, they may work, they may not work, you know. However, the will of God always gonna work. I know we kind of talked about that yesterday about God's will and everything like that. So I won't get too deep into that again, unless the Lord wants me to. I don't know, but but yeah, I mean, just saying that. Um, I mean, we got to trust Him with every aspect of our lives. I mean, even in this verse, it says, in all your way, in all your way. So I would say that another way to say that is in everything, acknowledge Him. I think we talked about this before, but just in case, new juices, people listening to me for the first time, whatever. At the end of the day, it's not just the phrase "What would Jesus do?" But yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way to say it this morning at what 5 something in the morning. That's the easiest way to say it. Yeah, what would Jesus do? You know, um, take everything, right, and put it up in front of God and be like, hey, what do you want me to do with this? What is your will for me in this? Is this your will? Whatever. However you can phrase the question to ask Him, but basically, like every aspect of your life, we have to do that. Now, again, it took me time too. It took me time too. And I'm still might not be asking about every single thing, I'm not, I'm a human as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect or nothing like that. So I'm sure there's plenty of things that I probably should be asking God about that I, either try to just go ahead and do or whatever. But, I mean, it says here that He will make straight your paths. So if you haven't tried this, I implore you to try it. If you have and you feel like you haven't gotten a revelation, whatever the case is, I mean, keep praising God through it, praying, and and, and wait. Because sometimes it just may not be the time, and that's okay. I think each part of our journeys is special. You know, and the waiting season is just as important as the doing. Depending on where you are. So anyway, let's keep going. Psalm 9 and 10 says, and those who know your name put neither trust in, let me make sure, hold on. Neither trust in you for you, O Lord. Your name. It looked like I might have wrote neither, but that doesn't sound right. Rather, y'all can confirm that word. My apologies, y'all. Sorry, Mom. um, yeah, I can't confirm that word at the moment. I wonder, can I look it up real quick? Let me see, can I do that? Hopefully I don't lose y'all on the podcast. Let me see. Ooh. Let me see, can I look it up? My screen keep going black. Oh, goodness. Yeah, let me see if I can look it up real quick. Um, so we're looking at Psalm 9 and 10. Let's see, Psalm 9 and 10. Thank you all for your patience and understanding. Here we go, Psalm 9 and 10. Okay. It says here, we'll put, okay, so the verse it says here, let me say it again. Psalm 9 and 10, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. So, yeah, that's what that says there. I guess I didn't write the P. I don't know what I was writing, but anywho, that, God will not forsake those that seek him at the end of the day. I mean, ultimately, that's what the verse is telling us this morning. We have to know him and seek him, know him and trust him and seek him, and he will not forsake us. So, again, that's what I was saying a second ago. We have to, even in those times where we feel like it's not happening quick enough or we don't have the answer or whatever the case is, continue to do those things and just know at the end of the day that he's not going to forsake you. I saw a quote a while back. It said something along the lines of like all the issues or every day that you struggle or whatever the case is, you got past it. Like every struggle that you ever had in like your life, you've gotten past it. The quote didn't say it wasn't exactly like that, y'all, but it was something along those lines. And it's just a reminder that, we go through things, we struggle. We do have these things that come up in our lives, but everything that we've encountered throughout our life that was a struggle with, I call it debacles or whatever the case is, we've gotten through it and God has seen us through it. So yeah, I mean, just keep that in mind as well, that, even if you're in a down space, understand that, hey, well, I will be up again. Because I was up before I was down, and now, I might be down right now, but I'll be up again. God will not forsake me. Just keep that in your hearts and minds. I got 2 more verses to share. Psalm 37 and 5 says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. Commit your way to the Lord, y'all. Trust in him and he will act. I mean, again, I try to share my testimonies here. I try to, reiterate that all the time that, hey, that's all I'm literally doing these days. And I'm seeing him acting in my life, I've seen it financially. I've seen it just in every aspect of my life. And, and I think, again, being in the place that I'm in is allowing me to see it even more. So yeah, I hope that encourages you and inspires you. Because, it's not just something that he's done for me. Like, I feel like he does this for all of us. It's just a lot of us, either we're not acknowledging it or sometimes we just don't feel like it's happening. But, I guess, again, another day, is another blessing, at the end of the day. You have life, health, strength. What was that Bible verse? Didn't it say clothes and food? You got that? I mean, another blessing, So, hey, just saying. The last verse I want to share is Isaiah 26 and 3. It says, you keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. So, yeah, man, just another subtle reminder, y'all. Trust God. Trust God. You know, again, I mean, the more I trust him, the more at peace I am with life, and everything, even, again, the things that I don't fully understand, even the things that may be struggles. like I said, I can remember those days when I would stress a little bit more than I do now, and it's like I barely stress at all now about anything. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing to live this way, and I don't want to go back to stressing. Um, so I'm excited to see what else God is going to do. The more I trust in Him and allow Him to do what He want to do, allow Him to do His will. Shout out to the person that's watching live. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I know it's early, so I appreciate you. I'm just about to wrap up, y'all. I'm at the Bible verse of today, and that's Psalm 19:1. It says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth His handiwork." Yeah, you guys can go deeper, man. There's a few verses in the go deeper section. You can peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But yes, I hope that this encourages you. I hope that this encourages you this morning, because that's the juice. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. This episode has been brought to you in part by Alexander Jared. Experience the emotive world of Alexander's writing, a podcast of stories that pull in the human emotions and takes you on a journey of suspense, thriller, heartbreak, and reflection. The stories have twists and turns that will keep you engaged and guessing. These episodes build the world around his novels. Let the journey begin.